Alright guys, welcome back. This is Shadow Drake, and this is just going to be a sneak preview of what I've seen so far in the beta. Yes, I broke down and actually jumped into it, but I just kind of wanted to see some of the things that I had. The biggest thing that I was looking forward to is building the deep minables and minimap, because the devs have expressed that it's going to be done via Rocketry. And I know that sounds kind of like something that's so far away, considering that rocketry can allow you to get, ores and stuff. But thinking about it, it's not as far away as you would think. It's not super late game as you would think. So let me just kind of go over how it kind of goes. Right now, the motherboard is not printable as of this video. It might be printable later, and I think the deep miner region doesn't work. But I basically have two computers that do the motherboard and then another one that's blank. So right now I have a rocket that is in space, almost out of batteries, that is literally on a one-way, I got sent on a one-way trip just to get, quote, scanner deep out there so that it can fill out the map. But as far as things go, I kind of have two rockets that kind of show off that little thing. So, for a one-way trip, maybe 5 batteries, is maybe overkill, but leaving it in there, I would think probably 6 batteries is more than enough. You don't really need much fuel storage. I literally have two utility tanks and fuel, the avionics, and of course the data link. And as far as fuel is concerned, I did the math, and if you're going to use a fuselage rocket like that, you probably need about 1,500 moles of fuel total, basically 1,000 volatiles, 500 oxygen. Most planets that gets it to orbit, uh, probably for safety, I would say maybe, you know, if you double that number, that's easy. But the reason I chose 1,000 moles of oxygen, 1,000 moles of volatiles, and 500 moles of oxygen is because you can make that mix extremely easily in in a in a fuel tank. Basically, 45 volatiles plus 22 oxygen gets you a perfect fuel mix ratio. You just gotta filter out the nitrogen, but you got a perfect ratio that you can put into your rocket engine. Or you could just put it all right here for the slight loss of thrust. But you know what that means is you can actually put a total of 90 volatiles and 44 oxide, and you'll have a very decent fuel mix that should be able to get the rocket into space. And this is a very lightweight rocket, just to think about. So basically, the rocket I sent out into space is pretty much that exact same rocket, but I put extra scanners to see if it'll be better or faster. It is not. As of right now, it is not. And then, of course, you need the rocket deep scanner head to attach. And now, if you take a look at this tiny little rocket over here, which is quite literally a nose cone and an engine, this is an even lighter weight rocket, which, everything is jam-packed together. I only have 3 batteries, but honestly, could probably get another 2, you know, just to get it to 5. And again, that smaller one should definitely be capable of flying with just the 45 oxide and the 22 volatiles. But the only reason I mentioned that is because on Vulcan and Venus, you don't have any oxides or volatile ISIS to deal with. You can potentially get an ore trader to buy those ISIS and then make a fuel mix and then put it in your rocket and send it into space. Or if you get one gas trader, then you basically got 3,000 moles of fuel, because you could buy 20 moles of volatiles and 10 moles of oxygen, and boom, you got a perfect fuel. Send your rocket up into space. Done. And again, this doesn't need to be very high tech. Honestly, the earliest tech that you would need is a furnace and being capable of melting any of the tier 1 alloys. Because none of this requires any super alloys. Predominantly requires steel. You definitely need battery power, so you need some stable power supply. This is all done in creative just to see. But how it works. And I am going to use this computer as an example right here. When you go to link it to the scanner, You know, it's all going to be blank. You have a motherboard that's mostly blank, and you see this is what it looks like, blank. And when you connect it to the rocket to the, rocket in space, let's find out where the curve comes in. Yep, right here. Okay, you see it's very slowly filling it up. And what it does is it fills it out in a wave pattern. So all of this has been it is day 16. I started at day 2. It has been roughly 14 days of constant scanning. So it starts from here. It's a very, very thin line, and it's gotten to this so far. So just to give you the scale of that, yeah, it'll take a while. But overall, the power expenditure, if you're just going to use the bare minimum, avionics, downlink, and a scanner, is going to be 260 watts. With each medium battery being 3.6 million, you actually get a significant amount of power. Or you can get a significant amount of length. I want to say it's closer to, well, that right now. Divided by 260. You get about 6,900 seconds. Take that down, that's about 115 minutes worth of power. You know, that's basically 5 to 6 days with fully charged batteries. So if you fully charge 5 batteries, send it up there, then you're more than likely going to have more than enough for the map to be filled out. And one of the things that I've seen is you gotta have the map queued on several computers for this to do that. So yeah, wanted to go over that, and because that's all that it takes. Again, it doesn't take much to get it up there. Now, when I say 1,000 to 1,500 moles of fuel and sending it up there, I'm assuming that that is a one-way trip. If you're going to actually bring that rocket back to recoup the materials you spent to get a single deep miner head to make your map done, double the fuel. 3,000. 3,000 moles of fuel. That would do it. So yeah, let's see what this is like. Yep, and the computer has got to be on. So you're going to have a constant power drain as this fills it out. And right now it's actually looking pretty good. This is actually pretty high resolution. I pulled up the debug. I'm technically right here. Now, as it is right now, as of this video, I'm not seeing the regions. I don't know if this needs to be filled out or if that's just bugged and not in there yet. But anyways, that's all I wanted to show. So yeah, it does not take much to get a rocket up there. It's something that you can probably build quickly early on and send it up into space. And as you can tell, so far it's at least 14 days of waiting to have a very nice, at least decently nice and clear map that looks like it's all splotchy. So I presume that this is actually going to take 21 days of scanning before it's fully mapped out. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, thank you for your time. I'll check in more Rocketry stuff as I run across it in the beta. So thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.